Hello everybody, welcome back. This is your freshman class on how to draw, and I'm using comic books as a medium to draw. This is day 4, part 2. I've numbered them, so it should be pretty easy to go back and do it. What I do is hour-long segments, and I break them up into 15-minute segments. And I'm just repeating this for those that, in case this is your first time watching the video. And what we're doing is we're making our comics, and I encourage you to go back and watch the videos because we're quite literally in the middle of making our comics. I have my supplies here, and I've got my book, and I got my clipboard, and this is the comic book that I was working on, and I've got my notes, and I've got my sharpener, my pencil. I'm going to sharpen my pencil a little bit as I get into work here, and I want to get into finishing up. Now, I call this the writing stage, mostly because what we're doing is we're working on plot and kind of the pacing, and I'm just getting all my story ideas down in what's known as either layouts or thumbnails, however way you want to look at it. And what I've got here is according to my notes from earlier videos, if you look at them, this is going to show the athletes inside the plane. Where we left off is the aliens went to zap the plane, and our hero, another hero, not the one that this comic book is about, jumped in front of that, and some of it went through to get into the plane without destroying the plane. And now I kind of wanted to show the athletes inside the plane. But first what I'm going to show is I'm going to show that our hero has caught the plane. I'm going to have him fly up underneath the plane, and I'm going to make him a little smaller. Here's the plane. And he's going to catch the plane. And he's going to bring it in for a landing. Okay, so I'm going to write this here because this is, notes for me in the writing. So these layouts, like I said before, is not really for anyone to understand. They're just kind of notes for you to understand, as you're building your story. And then he lands the plane, and then he's going to open the door. Let's have the door here, and he's going to be here, and he's ripping the door off. And here's where he's ripping the door off of from the plane. And I'm going to have, some lines here and right here. And he's going to look inside the plane now. So I'm going to make a little tiny one where he looks inside, and I'm going to have him be really surprised and shocked when he looks inside. And then inside the plane, I'm going to have, let me put him here. Here's the doorway to the plane. And he's here. He's coming in. And he's looking at what's happening. And then I'm going to have rows of seats here. And the seats are going to get smaller as it goes towards the front. And this goes back to our perspective, right? And he's going to look inside. and we're gonna have some of the athletes I'm gonna have them keeled over, and they're actually all gonna look like they're sleeping. Is how I'm gonna draw it. All of their heads, they're gonna be slumped forward, keeled over, and okay. So that's page 5, and then page 6 is where he's going to make the costume. So page 6 will be over here, and you got to turn it around because I'm following this guideline here, right? And turn it around, and then we're going to have him. We're gonna have the last page where he's standing here. Actually, you know what? Let me not do that because I don't have anything for the back cover. So I'm going to go to the back cover real quick, and let me make sure I'm doing this right. In the back cover, I'm going to have him standing there. He's just going to be standing there, right? Not doing much. And it's going to say, I would say, learn how Super Sensor became Super Sensor. And those are just brief notes. That's not what it's actually going to say when I'm done with it. But this last panel, I'm going to have like an arrow. And inside the arrow, I'm going to say, here's the costume. Of course, I have to plan that out a little bit better. But what I'm going to do is show that he's going to be holding his ears because he's got he's in the hospital bed. I'm going to have him in the hospital bed, and he's holding his ears. Because of the sound that's coming at him. It hurts, right? And then I'm going to have him, I'm going to put him in really dark sunglasses. I'm going to make them black, really, really dark. And he's still going to be holding his hand up to try to block out the light. I'm going to say dark sunglasses. And then I'm going to have a friend of his. Don't know who to make it. I'm going to make it. I'm going to make it a guy who was his coach in high school and helped him become an athlete. And he's going to come in. Coach walks in. Now it's going to be his high school coach. Let me make that clear. His coach for when he was at the Olympics was in the plane, and it's not this guy. And then they're gonna say that they made some gloves. And I'm going to show the gloves here. And he's putting it on. This is his bicep and his shoulder. And again, we're not supposed to say that, I know, but it's going to help you in the long run if you don't say it. But because I'm teaching you it, I'm just showing you how to do it. And then I'm going to show him holding, these are his fingers, his hands, and he's holding the mask. Okay, so he's sitting there holding the mask. All right. And then I'm going to say, here's the costume. All right, I'm going to write down holds mask to let me know what's going on. And what I have now is I have basically the layouts and the basic story. So when I fold this over, right, what's going to happen is I'll have the whole thing here. All right. Now, what I also wanted to show you was I was talking about I did this with very few pages, and the reason I did it with very few pages is because I don't have a lot of time to do a longer one. But you may have some more time than me. All right. So what we're going to do is the first thing we're going to do is we're going to this right here, this format is going to make it long. Okay. And I don't really want it long this way. I want it long this way. Okay. But this is just layouts. This is something that I'm not going to keep except for reference anyway. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to show you to cover here, right? Do back here, then flip it over. This is going to be 3. This is going to be 4. And then this is going to be a inside cover. And this is going to be page 6. This is going to be page 2. This is going to be page 5. So what's going to happen is when we cut this, when we make the comic and we cut it, well, I don't really want to cut this now. I mean, I could, let me show you. I'll show you and I'll make another one. It's no big deal. And then we're going to staple. Right? And here's what we got. We got the cover. We got the inside cover. We got page 2. We got page 3. We got page 4. We got page 5. We got page 6. And we got the back cover. So when I actually draw this out, later on, when I show you how to do this, I'm going to actually draw it like this instead. Okay? Another thing I wanted to show you real quick is if you did want to make a longer story, right, here's what you do instead. Okay? Let me see. We're going to do, let me start with the cover. Okay? We're going to do cover here, right? And then this should be inside inside cover, right? Then this is going to be number 2, right? And then this is going to be number 3. And then we're going to go to this page here, our second page, right? And we're going to go, sorry about that. Let me go ahead and end this, and we'll start in next page. And what I'm going to do is I'm going to finish showing you how to make a longer mini comic than the one that I'm showing you in the video. And you can keep adding pages, as many as you want, although I wouldn't make it too thick because the stapler might be able to hold it. But anyway, that'll be it for today. I'll cut it off for today, and then we'll come back tomorrow or later today, and you could see the rest of that, okay? Thank you very much.